Your audience passes judgment on your message before you even open up your mouth. Hi, my name is Drew Keller, and the environment tells part of your story. And where you set your video is a critical choice in the process. Because you see, the setting is in essence a character, a part of your story, and it gives your audience important cues. Cues like social status, values, interests. It tells your audience whether the person is organized or chaotic. The location adds credibility to both the messenger and the message. How you use the camera also gives cues to your audience so that they know how they should feel about your messenger. One consideration is, well, how do you frame your subject in their environment?
Where the camera is placed in relation to the subject greatly affects the way the viewer perceives that subject. For example, an extreme wide shot is generally used for setting a scene. A wide shot shows the entire person or building. It's intended to place them in relation to their surroundings. You're giving a general impression rather than specific information. A medium wide shot balances the subject and their environment. Sometimes called a cowboy or an American shot, it conveys context between your hero and location. The medium shot is just that, neither close nor far away. Medium shots are great at showing body language and can be used to represent importance and power. The medium close-up is what you're likely to use most often. This reduces the importance of the background. The subject's not competing for attention with their environment. With the close-up, you tightly frame a person or an object. The shot is most often used when your subject is emotional or describes an intense personal event. The closer you frame your subject, the less importance you place on the environment.
Another important consideration is the height of your camera in relation to your subject.
There's a psychology to camera height, and it shapes your intended point of view. Viewers interpret meaning in the camera's eye level. For example, a low-angle shot makes a subject look powerful or threatening. Even moving the camera so it's only slightly below your subject's eye line will have an effect on your audience. Set the camera low to make someone seem important. Unfortunately, it's not always an attractive shot. Shooting down on a subject is more flattering, but it diminishes their importance to the viewer. This angle gives a message that they have less power or are vulnerable. A high-angle shot makes the subject look very small or weak. Think children or pets. Most every parent shoots their kid from this vantage point. Generally, the best height for shooting is the subject's eye level.
The third consideration is how do you place your subject in the frame, centered or off-center?
Off-center is guided by something called the rule of thirds. It's the foundation for well-balanced and interesting images. Sure, it's a formula, but it's a good place to start to increase the visual interest in your story. So what is the rule? Imagine your screen is divided into thirds, horizontally and vertically. Think tic-tac-toe. The intersection of these imaginary lines suggests 4 options for placing your center of interest. It's a simple rule, really. Pick an intersection and put the center of your subject there. Why is it a good idea to use this rule? Centering your image is both visually boring and often creates confusion. Using the rule of thirds will produce video that is tight and well composed. You've created a more interesting shot, and you've told the viewer what you want them to look at in your composition. So when you frame your shot, ask yourself these questions. What's the main point of interest? Where am I placing it?
By mastering the art of framing and position, you can successfully give your audience your intended cues. That means you've set them up to receive your message.